So we're here today in the Newport Car Museum. They got some insane stuff. This is my second time here. We got the Bugatti Veyron right here, the red and black. This is like an original Veyron spec. You can see the old style lights before the Grand Sport. It's got a nice interior. It's like brown and cream. Got the double wing here. The wing comes up on the back of this thing. So you got a matte green AMG GTR. It's got a full carbon roof up there. And then this one has the wing, which the regular one doesn't. That's why it's got the GTR badge. It's a little bit of performance above the regular AMG GTR. So right here we have one of the old Mercedes race cars. It's got the really crazy exhaust coming out of the side. And then number 722. And look at the interior. Crazy that that was a race car back in the day. So right here we have the Mercedes SLS. This one's famous for the doors that go up the gull wing style, just like the seagull wings. The handles even down here, you have to reach way down just to open up your doors, but it's worth it to look cool. Now you probably spotted this at the start, the McLaren Senna. This one's got red accents on it, and it's got all carbon here. This thing is a beautiful car. Now this is basically just like the P1, but it's like the newer version of it. A lot of people know this car from Forza. The cool feature is that this is actually glass, so you can see through the doors, and then that's all you get for your window. Got a massive wing on the back. On video this doesn't show, but in real life it's huge. You got a Lamborghini Murcielago LP640 Roadster. The diamond stitching. So right here is one of the most famous old Ferraris, the 250 GTO. Now this car, if you didn't already know, is one of the most expensive cars of all time. Some of these could sell to up to $70 million in auctions, and that's because this car has a ton of racing history behind it. They've won lots of important races and had lots of important drivers over the years. One of the most desirable Ferraris to have for any Ferrari collector. And now it's not the most expensive car anymore, but once upon a time it was, before one of those old Mercedes took the place. There we go, we got the old Lamborghini. We got a Diablo VT Roadster. The Diablo is one of the nicest old Lambos in my opinion. Now, you can pick the Mercy, or you can pick the Diablo if you want. A good old Lambo. Quad exhaust as well. Now this, if you guys also didn't already know, is one of my favorite cars of all time, the Aventador. This is the Aventador SV Roadster right here. It's got the special upgraded diffuser, as well as a carbon wing on the back. It also has the signature SV on the side. It's got some lime calipers to match the paint, and then that beautiful interior, all Alcantara, which is basically just leather that's flipped over. Let me come around to the front as well. It's got that super aggressive front end. We also have the new Acura NSX. I think these are pretty nice looking cars. Here we have an orange McLaren P1. A lot of people consider this their favorite McLaren. This is basically one of the best hypercars out there. And this was one of the first hybrid hypercars, just like the 918 and the LaFerrari. So another cool thing about the McLaren P1 as well, besides this insane roof scoop, is the fact that this wing here can lift way up in the air, just like on the Veyron. So we got the Mercedes McLaren. This is a super cool car because it's got McLaren badges on it, as well as the Mercedes badges. Basically just a collaboration between the two brands to make this awesome SLR. And this is of course the Roadster. So right here we have the Jaguar XJ220, which is Jaguar's first ever supercar. And the cool thing about this is that a team of workers from Jaguar decided to work on Saturdays extra time just so they could create a car to compete with Ferrari, and they wanted this thing to compete at Le Mans eventually, so they ended up doing a modified version of this for Le Mans. And you can see the big engine in the back there. At the time this thing came out, it was the fastest car at 217 miles per hour. It's crazy to see how far Jaguars come. So in here, it looks like we got some Porsches. We got the Porsche 917 with the Golf livery. I think it's my first time ever seeing one of these. And this thing is an insane car. This is the old Le Mans race car. And look at the back of this thing. Such a weird design, but it actually looks really nice. There we go. Yeah, this thing is a really long car as well. Here we got a car that's less common these days in the world of GT3 RSs. We got the GT2 RS. A very similar car to the GT3, but just has some subtle differences. And I really like this thing. You can always tell it's a GT2 because it's got this hood on the front. A nice subtle bit of carbon fiber here and there. That's why it's got the Y-Stack package on it. So we got a GT3 RS here throughout the car. We got green. I feel like the GT3 RS is one of the only cars that can get away with putting wheels like this on their cars, and it actually looks very good. This one also has the carbon hood on the front as well with the Y-Stack package. So that means it's got those bucket seats inside. So we got basically all the 911 models in here. We got a 2019 Speedster. It's got it without the roof on it. It's got some carbon mirrors. And you come around to the front and it actually looks just like a GT3. So we got all the other old generations of the Porsches, which I don't know much about. But we got one of the old 911s. The GT3 from this generation is super nice as well. But if you come here, you got another one of the best Porsches ever made. You got the Porsche Carrera GT. It's in gray. Now this is a famous car, but not for the best reasons, because this is one of the cars that sadly Paul Walker crashed in. And I've heard that the suspension on the back of these could have some issues. So we got a second GT2 RS here in green. It's got the silver wheels. I think I prefer the spec over the first one. So we got another GT3 RS in purple. This is the older generation. So this generation is really kind of forgotten about now compared to the new one right there. That this is one of the best generations as well. So this is an older one. This is back from 2011, and it's a GT3 RS 4.0. That's why it's got the little badges right there. And this is like a more subtle version compared to some of the new ones with all those fins everywhere. This is just a super clean looking car, and it has the center mounted dual exhaust. This is a really nice spec as well with the white wheels, the little bits of silver and red here and there. And it even has a red roll cage on it as well, with some red seats and a red shifter. So we got a Porsche 918 Spider here, Porsche's hypercar. This is also similar to the P1, where it's a hybrid. It's got the exhaust up here as well. It's kind of similar to the 600 LT. Yeah, the rear end of this car is super cool looking. Even has carbon fiber diffuser. One of the interesting things about the 918 is that they decided to only make them a Spider version, which means it's a convertible. So there is no top for any of these cars. The only way you could get one is by getting a custom modified one. So we got another Porsche supercar, the Porsche 959. This one's in all white. One of the earlier Porsche supercars. So we're into the next room now, and we have the Dodge Demon. This is like the dedicated drag racing version Challenger. So we got an older Dodge Viper convertible here. This one's also got the V10 right up in the front. It's a lot different than majority of the supercars these days because they're all mid-engined. This is more of an American muscle-styled supercar. You also got one in blue as well, a slightly newer one. This is the SRT10 signature Viper stripes. I think that's where the name actually came from, is this car. And then behind it we have the best Dodge Viper. This is the ACR. It's got this insane splitter held on This looks like it would be modified, even though this is actually how it comes from the factory. This is insane. Carbon canards, a ton of hood vents, and then it's got the big wing on the back as well. Now we got a ton of Corvettes in this room here. But what I'm most excited to see, you probably already spotted behind it, it's the Ford GT. There we go. We got a white Ford GT with blue stripes. This is the modern Ford GT, and we even got the old 2005 one behind it, and another one I'll show in a second. But this thing is a super nice car, especially because it's a Ford. You wouldn't think Ford makes supercars, but they do. And one of the coolest features of this car is that you can actually see through. You can put your arm through here, all the way out the back. You just might need some really long arms for that. So we got a visible engine in the back, kind of similar to what you see on Ferrari and Lambos, as well as a wing that pops up. And as well as the wing popping up, the car will actually lower itself down when you do that. It's a special race mode set up for the track. So we got the first ever street Ford GT. This is the predecessor to this car. This is the 2005 Ford GT. It's got basically flipped colors, blue with white stripes instead. And the crazy thing about this car is that we had a video of one crashing a few years ago at a Cars and Coffee, which absolutely sucks because this is an amazing car, but it is pretty crazy to catch it on video. I'll link that in the description. But manual right in there, and a supercharger in the back of this thing as well. Probably part of the reason why it lost control is because the rear wheel drive, V8 and a supercharger. So we got a car as well that's kind of forgotten about. It's a De Tomaso. If you guys know the new De Tomaso P72, it's a super crazy looking hypercar, but back in the day, they made their own cars as well. These kind of look similar to the old Lamborghinis, the same time period as the Mira and other similar Lambos. It has a manual in there, which I bet this thing's a ton of fun to drive. It's also an Italian car, and it looks really similar to a Lambo in a lot of ways. So we have a Shelby Cobra. This is a recreation, so it's not a real one. But the real ones of these go for really high values. But just right here, we have a 2021 Shelby GT500 KR. That stands for King of the Road. This is a special edition of the GT500. So it's got a carbon added on. There's only 60 of these made each year for each model year. So for 2021, this is one of the only ones made. So it's a super rare car to see. So right here we have the original Ford GT40. And this one is actually, like it says here, from Fast and Furious. So this is the exact one that they used in the movie. So back in the day, these were race cars. If you guys have seen the Ford versus Ferrari movie, you probably recognize this car because it's driven by Ken Miles. And this car was basically built to try to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. So they basically worked on these cars hard, engineered them to try to beat the Ferrari the best they could. It's got the Sao Paulo plates from Brazil. So right here we have another Shelby that I'm not very familiar with. This is called the Shelby Series 1. And this one's from 1999. So it's just entering that 2000 era of cars. It's a pretty cool looking car as well. I'm definitely not familiar with these. And I'm gonna assume that these are pretty rare because I think this is the only time I've ever seen one. And I think that's the fuel cap right there. You gotta reach way over there just to put your fuel in the back of this thing. It's a cool way to fill up at the station.